What up, y'all? It is that time. WWT Live. We're gonna be talking all things, all out, and all in, and all the outcomes, I should say, coming up next.
I am your forever ROH Women's Champion, your fallen goddess, the Alpha, the Minion, Overlord, the ROH Gatekeeper. But most of all, I am the best in the world, Athena, and you are watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What up, y'all? It's been a minute. Well, for me, but thank you guys for tuning into Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. This is WWT Live, the Monday edition. We're going to be talking all things for AEW, WWE, and all other things coming up. But I'm not alone. Thank goodness. We have the PR queen herself, Courtney Rice, in the building. How are you doing?
Hi, happy Monday. It's been fun. It's been a wonderful 24 hours because not only we're covering Raw, AEW, but also football is back. And also my team, the Dolphins, actually beat Tony Khan's Jacksonville Jaguars. So it's been a good Monday for me.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to take. I mean, I'm not Tony Khan, so I guess great. We also have. I mean, see, I have to say some stuff offline, but we also have Honey, Wrestling with Honey, in the building with the magical entrance.
Oh yeah. You know what time it is. Happy mother effing Monday, baby, because the excellence of execution is in the house. And we got a 3-hour Raw. I'm so excited. Football's back. So much happened. And I'm just. Hey guys. Hey boss lady. Good to see ya.
Hey. Shout out to people in the chat. What up, Eric? What up to our official, unofficial producer, Dylan? What up, Matt? So we're going to get into a lot of things to get into, which is, first off, let's start with All Out. Now, here's the question before we get into the details of it. And this was a question that I also had last year. So we had All In and All Out. Very short time in between the two, I feel. What do you guys feel as far as those two pay-per-views? And then also, what was the results? Meaning that we had All In England, which is supposed to be like a really, I kind of feel like it's AEW's WrestleMania of sorts. And then a few short weeks later, less than, I think 2.5, 3 weeks, we have All Out, which was in Chicago. Do you think that's obviously changing a little bit for next year, but how do you think that played out as far as storylines this year?
You go first, Courtney. You're the expert.
Storyline wise, it was a lot more better than it was last year. Storyline wise, it was very better. The storytelling was just right there. And also, some of the matches and All Out actually did make sense with some of the storylines that were happening in All In. Of course, Daniel Garcia, he came back at All In, and they have a match at All Out. Chris Statlander and Will Nightingale, even though they were on the pre-show, they still kept their rivalry going after All In, where the match that they had on the pre-show, the winner of that match chose a stipulation. So that worked. Of course, Hangman versus Swerve. Hangman interfered in his match against Bryan Danielson, so that kind of really falls into play. So there was a bit mixed feelings because I think it was a couple years ago where they dealt with it was actually last year, the first time they did it, they dealt with a serious issue because it was so close, and I believe it was around Labor Day weekend that there was a lot of concern. So I think it just made sense storylines for all this to happen because for some odd reason, the storytelling was some of it was completely spot on, even though some of the matches did feel a little rushed, but there was a few hits when it came to the week span.
Okay. Before you answer, Honey, we have Councilman Farrow in the building as well. What's up, Councilman?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I needed this. I needed to come on here.
Oh, yes, you did.
I need to shine. I need some brightness. Mufasa is no longer here with us.
Oh,
Darth
yes.
Vader has passed away.
Yes, rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Legend.
That was the first actor I ever met, and he was so kind to me. And he entertained me so much more than Bret Hart ever did in all of his wrestling career.
Oh, we're gonna have a chat.
R.I.P. to you, James. You were the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
He ain't the only one.
The only one.
Mm-mm.
Well,
I couldn't miss this all-out conversation, though. I couldn't.
Just in case anybody didn't notice, there is a slight divide just for the day of the WWT Electrifying Tag Team Champs in Digital Entertainment. Just today, just for today.
I still respect everybody all the way.
Okay.
Respect the fit, dog. Respect the fit.
I respect the fit. It looks way better on you than it did Brett ever.
You need to stop. We're talking about All Out.
Okay, we gonna go back to All Out. I'm so sorry.
I'm like,
We'll
what
get there.
is going?
We're gonna get there.
I'm sensing dissension in the ranks. But before I ask you, honey, as far as your feeling between All In and All Out, shout out to cousin Ron in the chat as well, Bosa, and Eddie. How's it going? So the question is for those who are joining us as well as Councilman Farrell. What did you guys think as far as the couple weeks difference as far as storyline wise between All In and All Out? Do you think this year was better? Are you looking forward towards next year where there's going to be a little bit more space in between those kind of major pay-per-views? What was your overall feeling?
Although I didn't actually see the event, I felt like I did because all I needed to do was go online and everything was on there anyway. Yep. I definitely sensed shift in storylines and the way things were told in certain matches. Were some of the things that they had going on there a little overdone? Maybe in some spaces. But other than that, I think, especially going into the fall season and it's a new season, there's always like a shift in how business picks up in wrestling. Kind of like what's going on with, this week being, USA week. And we have a special 3-hour SmackDown and it's just like unheard of. So there's always a good shift and going into the fall. And we're definitely going to see like basically a fallout and, call back to maybe a lot of things that we didn't, think to look at before. Because of course, the history with Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland has been told for quite a few years, probably almost since this, since practically AEW almost started. But it's just, I think it's pretty cool. I think they did okay. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, and just fake it. But some things I could have done without.
Okay. Councilman?
I enjoyed it. To say it wasn't 24 matches long. This was a pretty decent pay-per-view. Like to Hunt's point, I think some of the things were a little over the top. But I like some of the storytelling that was being told. Of course, Adam Page and Swerve, wild. I don't even know what to say. Bryan Danielson should not be champion at all. It should be Jack Perry. If you go back and watch, there was definitely some shenanigans going on. Not sure how a ref helps you kick out, but that was awkward. But then you have Will Ospreay and Pac, who just tore the house down. Hand me down, Monet. You knew what was going to happen, but still solid performance. I can't even call him.
We got to show. TK got to catch. Boss lady got to catch up.
I gotta catch up.
But all in all, I give it a 7 out of 10. And the only thing I'd say, even too, just like with how they were doing it, some of the spots they had, even like with Willow Nightingale and Statlander, like they got to work on their production. I'm sorry, AEW gotta bump this up. There was a lot of stuff we missed, a lot of off cues and stuff. I know everybody have an off night and stuff, but like y'all got to catch up with this. I didn't see Willow tap out. Y'all had the camera like right here, just like Statland talking. It was off and stuff like that. So I only say that though to say because this seemed like a better pay-per-view. This seemed like, y'all really must watch women's wrestling talk because y'all now starting to give us a little bit more story, a little more depth into these things. I watched the whole thing and I enjoyed it.
Okay. Well,
exactly. No.
where did he disappeared? He disappeared and then reappeared.
That's that hand-me-down Wi-Fi he got. That's what that is.
That's that Vice City. That's that Vice City Wi-Fi.
So Dylan says, can we talk about the Stat and Willow match? Y'all noticed that he only lets women cook when there is blood involved, or your last name is Monet. What do you guys feel about that?
Ooh.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know if I condone or even would allow tax anywhere near my crotch. Like, I'm sorry. Like that was one of the things I definitely could have done without. I was just like, that's not right. Oh, that's not right. And but the match overall, banger. I'll give it that.
That also let me know them tax were fake. Because I saw the ref go for 1, 2, 3 and landed on the tack twice and did not do this at all. I'm like, I don't think those tacks were real. I saw it like, when she came for the pin, Willow the pin, she went 1, 2. I saw her hit them tacks. I'm like,
I mean,
so
I don't know if they would I would flinch. Like, I don't know.
Like,
or maybe because some people are not really prone to pain like that in some parts of the world, you never know. They probably just like, I got a job to do. 3. Like,
wow, the ref tough. Oh my god.
Gangster.
Sorry, Sed's trying to get into the stream. Shout out to Cliff, Eddie James, and MDB 999. I haven't seen you in a while, but also I haven't been on a while. So shout out to y'all with that. So any other highlights from All Out that we want to discuss?
That Will Ospreay match.
I called it for predictions. I called that to be the match of the night. I'm so glad that it was. That match, if anything, I need to watch that in its entirety in full. Like,
yeah, that one.
The spots were crazy. The spots that they were posted.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, other than that, I don't even want to touch Swerve and Hangman Adam Page, but I know we're gonna have to talk about that, right? At some point, like one of the most overly violent and probably visually aesthetically not pleasing to my eye in some cases. Like I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel. Like I saw people going raving about it and posting about it like I'm going to bed. I don't know what I just watched, or I can't unsee that. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just that I get what they're trying to do and I understand, but it just screamed a little too out there and maybe a little too desperate for my taste. Just say like out there at / desperation. Like,
no offense to any ethnicities, not trying to disrespect nobody.
And it's not even Swerve and Hangman's fault.
Yeah, but after that match, I didn't like white people for like 15 minutes. I'm just letting y'all know. I was going to dump somebody in the parking lot. I'm like, this is a hate crime going on right. It's too far. This is too far. Wait a minute.
It's so, because last year, I don't know if you went to it. Well, last year when they had the pay-per-view in Los Angeles, I remember that one was pretty violent too, and it was so funny in a weird way because I'm a punk. I don't like seeing blood. Like, there's certain things that I'll just turn away from. And I actually brought one of my coworkers, her daughter and her husband, who are like huge wrestling fans. And the daughter had to be like 7, and she was like all in this match. She was so like about this match, and I'm like there like just turning away, like I can't I can't take it. So
I haven't even seen a video of it. Like, I've only seen the picture of the knee. I don't even want to watch it. I don't even want to watch it.
I can probably say this during my live stream. If you saw my face, I didn't have enough words. It was just like I watched that whole match and I'm just like,
If anything, I'm just gonna if anything, because I was able to tune in maybe for like a second or two just to support our sister here, Courtney. But if anything, I'll probably rewatch her whole watch along in order to keep up with what happened, because that's just crazy. I don't know if I could visually watch that match.
And then speaking of that, couple of things that are happening. We have a new watch along that's going to be starting this week. We have our AEW Dynamite watch along. Courtney's going to be doing that starting on Wednesday. So you can check that out. And we're going to attempt, because Will knows, Lord, I've been trying. We're going to attempt NXT watch along as well. And NXT and WoW watch along in the next week or so. WoW for sure. Just some news on WoW for my folks who watch WoW. WoW has their own app on Pluto, but they're also starting their new season on the 14th in a new area. They recorded in Glendale, California. So there are a lot of things happening there. So we're going to be doing a watch along for WoW for sure, and most likely NXT. So definitely going to love that. But for sure, AEW Dynamite is going to be all Courtney on Wednesday. So you can check that out.
Here for it.
And also, before we shift into All Out, there was actually one match in particular I know not a lot of people talked about, and I know a lot of people may not want to care. MJF versus Daniel Garcia.
That was good.
I don't care what anybody says about Daniel Garcia. I know everybody has mixed feelings about him, but he really showed up in that match. He really did.
Yeah.
He showed resilience. He really showed that he can be one of the guys for AEW, especially going up against the top guy in AEW. And even though he did lose, I actually did like it when he kicked MJF in the nuts and almost tried to break him, which I thought was pretty funny. But they really delivered. The fans were in it, so kudos. Even though MJF won, kudos to Daniel Garcia. They both put on a good match, so kudos to the both of them.
Yeah, I think it did crazy spots and stuff like that. Like they did that whole night with all the other matches. That probably would have been in top 3, because that was a good match between him and MJF. Good storytelling in the ring.
And so speaking of, I was going to say something totally different. Speaking, I was going to say something very, speaking of pullouts. Said he said to the building. He said he only got 20 minutes, y'all. He only got 20 minutes.
What's the segue to that? Wait a minute.
Let's go.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Don't be sharing my methods with the internet. He'll be sharing my methods. 37 years kid free. Don't be sharing my methods with the internet.
Oh my goodness. Wow. It's so funny because the next person, I'm so
everybody's here.
The timing of that, because Professor's gonna love this. I actually talked about that to Professor in Jamaica. It's like your methods as far as that are always successful until they're not successful. It's like 37 years, and then the 38th year you might not be successful.
Lord.
I'm just saying.
Is that y'all had a whole conversation about pulling out?
We're still on that topic, sir.
Yeah.
It is. I just want you guys to know that it's 3:26 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is not WWT Live After Dark.
What's happening?
Go forward.
Oh my God.
And I hope the professor shames you for putting that conversation on the web.
Why?
It's so good to have the parents back. See, this is where we get it from.
Yeah.
From the best.
That's all you can do, Professor. I'm like you right now. What's happening?
Well, first of all, greetings, everyone. And I will have you know, at least it was not how I planned to start being here, but this conversation with her is not new. Let's just say she had this exact conversation when we were in Jamaica, and I was just like,
"Is this what you were talking about?"
And it went with the whole analogy and everything.
Yeah. Anyway, I've missed you guys. How are you? Everybody good?
Good.
Everybody's great. Everybody's great. Doing great. Good to see everybody.
You.
The whole family is here, guys. The Brady Bunch is here. Let's go.
Here. All here. Greetings
my
to everybody in the chat. It's great to see you guys. Things have just been super busy. I apologize for my tardiness and the like, but it is good to be here.
Well, we're here. Before we move on to our next topic, I guess both for Sed and Professor, we are just talking about All Out and the overall thoughts. And the question that I led off with was, with that 3-week difference between All In and All Out, do you think it was okay as far as storylines and how All Out, played out this weekend?
I think the gap helps. Obviously, being a more digestible show helps as well, but I think it allowed. I think it delivered. I think it was one of the pay-per-views I watched from start to finish that I was like, oh, this is really good. And then I think the storylines were able to kind of breathe a little bit heading into the show. I'm pretty sure you guys went over your faves and moments of the night. Honestly, my favorite match of the night was Willow and Stat. Honestly, just because they came out the gates with the shenanigans, and it was just a beautiful train wreck nonstop. Like, even with all the violence and Swerve and Hangman, that match, which I think it was in a spot to be a cool down based on where it was at on the card, and it was nothing of the sorts. Like, my eyes were open the entire time. So I think they did good with the show overall, and I think they maybe pulled out a little bit of a formula as far as spacing out the two big shows.
Guess who's back? So I will say this. I think the 2-week gap for AEW ended up proving to be really good, considering that I felt like they had too much time in building All In. And so some of the things didn't hit exactly right. I think they found, and I think they knew going into All Out kind of what they wanted to accomplish. I think what helped also is that All Out was a completely different kind of presentation than what All In was. And so when it's so vastly different, you can really sit there and go, whoa, and I think because it was so vastly different, there are going to be people like MDB who did not like it. But what I will say is it was polarizing. Like, there were people who felt like the violence was gratuitous, it was too much, and then there are others who felt like, oh my God, this was just the kind of thing that you needed to make it stand out. I think this, when it comes to pro wrestling, there are flavors for everybody. And, you may not like everything. I think everything is run by different people. So the people that AEW has to answer to would be different than people that WWE or others would have to answer to. And I think time will ultimately tell what people think of All Out. I'm just glad, at least from what I heard, that the things that we're talking about are more so in the ring versus in the scrum. So
we like cake over here.
That's going to get deleted too.
Nowhere.
That's going to get deleted too. I just want
you
you guys
said different flavors, so I mean, there's different flavors of cakes.
We got a few things to delete, Said. So trust me, it's not just
we.
These man.
Okay, I'm going to say this because this was funny. I expressed in person a couple of things that I'd like to see deleted. Obviously,
you were serious about that?
Obviously, I don't have enough stroke around here, but that's okay.
Of course you do. You just gotta go in there and click the button, delete.
But she can add it back. So,
all right. Well, we have our unofficial producer on here. So official producer Dylan. The professor would like a new intro. As Will needs an intro and Courtney needs an intro. So the professor expressed to me, although I thought he was joking, that he would like a new intro. So
I've said it multiple times.
And now that we're on this conversation, since
I was going to say, I think the last time we played the video, he said, "I do not miss that video."
That doesn't mean anything to me. You have to really explicitly tell
she doesn't do subtleties well.
Not at all. You have to just tell me direct. So
now that my counterparts are back, Big Money TK, I brought up some information last Friday that kind of shook the waves here, and I would like all my counterparts to receive WWT NIL deals. They like to join that wave since I have one. So you gotta make that happen.
All right, sure. Have your people come on, people.
Dylan, I trust you. I'm not. Unlike them two, I'm not tripping. I don't. You got it. After the whole Braveheart when you did for me, you got all creative control.
Yeah, seriously.
It.
Pull up anything, man. Love it.
Dylan has the receipt. So their professor, I have issued our producer to create you a new intro, and we will see what happens. But as far as happening, what else we got to talk about? Yes,
we got to talk about the false advertisement for this debate that was supposed to happen and never happened.
Oh yes. Yes. That's not a me thing. I was waiting for it.
No, since I guess that was
with his Parisiac constituents.
Here.
Ready. I was ready.
Wow.
To address that false advertisement, that was that poster that was not authorized. My name and likeness was not consented in that poster. That was a very old picture, by the way. We have better pictures in suits, just to let you guys know.
Send it to the producer.
That debate will happen. What happens? We've been in the gym. Me and my clients have been working on our ham hock strong style. And if you know who I'm talking about Miss Lola Weiss and Jada Parker.
Keep working.
We've been kind of busy. But the debate will happen before November 5th. I will guarantee you.
Before November 5th.
I mean, the last time I checked, my clients are way more than all you.
JD! Oh my God, JD! Oh
wow!
Wow, JD!
Wow!
I like that. I actually like that. That's fun.
That was good.
Wow.
That was good.
For my listeners, JD, a longtime friend of the show, he said debate fall apart, says pull-out game continues to be on point.
Wow.
Wow. Goodness. I love it. Wow. Yeah.
How we gonna have a
Fred's
debate?
About to pound the streets.
This is God.
He just gonna delete all of these. He's going.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's about to just go on a deleting spree.
Well, thanks God I have a whole folder. But sorry. So the debate is supposedly going to be happening before November 5th. This is what's happening.
You have my word. It will be before November 5th.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I got
if you guys
take care of. We also had your word that Lola was going to be champ. So yeah, that word.
CW, Minnesota.
Maybe.
When Randy Orton is there.
Minnesota.
Allegedly.
Wait, not Minnesota. Is it Missouri?
St. Louis. Yeah, St. Louis.
Yes, Missouri. My bad. Missouri.
I mean, at this point, it's cool. Like, what more does my client have to prove? Like, even when she, you know what I'm saying? Wow.
I'm gonna slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see you try.
Who's still holding the belt though?
That's a good one.
Who's still holding the belt though? After that happened,
Floyd Mayweather said, "Belts collect dust."
Listen, we're not even
the championship reigns
like
forever.
moments.
They're talking about.
We create moments.
And the last time I checked, at least my client wasn't on a poster and was the head of the thing and not even on the show. How does that work? Face of the poster for No Mercy wasn't on the show at all.
Wow.
I don't blame her. I blame her people in the back, like your so-called co-mayor. Are you still mayor? Are you hand-me-down mayor now? What
hand-me-down mayor?
These are stored grievances, and this is why this debate will happen on my terms, because he just wants to keep poking the bear. But
no. See, I love how he tries to duck and dodge, like he didn't have a whole presentation Friday of Lola Weiss pictures that he kept just pushing through.
They just been there. I can't do anything about them just being there. They're just in the slides.
You mean from the presentation you made that Friday?
They were made. That presentation was made weeks ago. We thinking to the future. It was just there. I can't help it if the chat wants to see Lola. I can't help it if Roxanne is so boring The chat wants to see Lola.
Well, here's the question. Jeffrey has a good question. When was the last time we saw Lola on TV?
75 days.
Hold
75
on.
days.
Hold on. Let me answer this.
75
Jeffrey,
days.
we didn't see my client in that pink snakeskin last week. That's what we're doing? The backstage segment?
Oh, backstage. Oh.
Backstage segment. That's going to set up a segment for this week.
You brag about that. Oh. But
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Said moments.
I didn't know we were counting backstage.
Well, the debate, like we said, is supposed to happen November 5th. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, for those who are joining, God willing, for those who are joining us, we're going to be adding 2 additional watch-alongs. So definitely check that out for AEW Dynamite, WoW, and possibly NXT. We'll see how all that goes. With that being said, because we are 38 minutes into the hour, what's our next story?
Hold on. Can I
just got here. I didn't want to.
It's the second time somebody came at me unprovoked. I don't know who this is. But last week somebody came at my smile and my credibility. And I'm a fiend. What is this?
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll help us get back on track, shall we?
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Thank God the parents are here.
As Monday Night Raw is getting ready to take place in about an hour and a half, there has been a figure missing from Monday Night Raw that we've not seen in quite some time, and that would be Kiana James, who was drafted, of course, from NXT, had a few really good weeks, and then just kind of, faded away. So apparently she's been pulled from WWE's active roster. She has been shifted to what is known as the miscellaneous section, and that is where talents are put if they are unable to perform or are injured. So we'll be waiting to see what's happening with Kiana James. Of course, that's much better than just not being on the internal roster at all, which means that you're no longer with the company. So, we're hoping that everything goes well for Kiana and she can return to the active roster.
I wonder why they're keeping it real hush-hush.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that she had some surgery. That's what I heard. So, she's just recovering from surgery. So that's what I've heard. I can't confirm or deny it, but yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, the good and bad thing with that, when they make these announcements, it goes into the whole speculation, as far as what may or may not have happened. But because of HIPAA, they can't say that. And I also believe she probably doesn't want her business out there anyway.
Sure.
But like Professor is saying, she's still on the internal, so we can look forward to that. And the good thing, especially with WWE in particular, the next 5 years, not even to scratch that, the next 2 years as far as storylines involving new superstars is going to be off the hinges. They just have so many, because there was a point where it's just like you had the Vince era, and then you had a little bit of a transition era. And I believe I believe this was said, but it may have been said off the record, so I'm not going to tell you who told me. But at one point, the majority of the wrestlers who were like top, they were all in their late 30s, early 40s. So they're all getting they're getting older, right? They've been in the game for anywhere between 8 and 10 years. So we have a new crop of wrestlers that it's going to be a whole new set of storylines. We have a lot of wrestlers leaving, retiring, slowing down, all that stuff. So, I feel like whatever caused her or that she needs to take some time, this is the perfect time to do it, because the next that WrestleMania next year, it's going to be a whole situation.
Yeah. And I mean, when you think about, again, just the new stars that are in Raw and SmackDown, and then you throw NXT, and we've talked about the depth of the NXT women's roster, there's just going to be a lot of stories to be told, and a lot of places to tell those stories. So yeah, you're right. I mean, she didn't get too deep into anything when she was initially on, so that we would go, oh wait, there's a storyline missing here. So she can almost be reintroduced to people when she comes back, which is going to be a good look for her.
What else we got?
Well, speaking of Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw will kick off again at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's important to note that this is WWE week on USA. And one of the reasons for that is, of course, SmackDown ended their time on Fox this past Friday. So all three brands for the next 3 weeks, including this week, will be on USA. And they're all ramping their shows up. You know it's big when Raw is going to kick off with the Wyatt Six against American Made. I almost called them American Alpha, but American Made. And it's going to be a street fight. And it's going to be really, really wild. That's a wild way to start off what's going to be a commercial-free first hour. So it's going to be nuts to see all things that can happen. And if you just look at the cards, you look at what's being presented for this Raw card, you look at what's being presented tomorrow night for NXT, you can tell it's a very, very special week for WWE. And so everybody's ready to come out in a big way.
Dylan says, "Give me blood." Okay.
Oh Lord. Well, look, we got enough blood over the weekend. I think they're gonna do all they can to stay away from that. But I do think we're gonna get some memorable moments. I do.
I mean, blood will come with bad blood, for sure. I think, especially being that we're now into the next PLE, and now it's apparently slated that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre might end up being a steel cage. It's looking like a likely, possibly. So I think there's a little bit more blood to be had to end this year. And it all started with the final boss.
There you go. And then we have the cookout happening on Professor's house before Bad Blood. It's going to be a whole situation.
Yes.
Here you go with that again. Here you go with that.
It's in Atlanta. Do you not live in Atlanta?
I do live in Atlanta, but I don't know that I have room for everybody.
Just the cookout. We're not asking to sleep over.
So, also tonight on Raw, and there's been a lot of talk about this, an appearance from a WWE Hall of Famer and legend, and that, of course, is Bret the Hitman Hart, who will be there tonight. And there's a lot of speculation in terms of how and why this is happening. So apparently one of the reasons this is happening is because tonight's episode of Raw will be at the Calgary Saddle Dome. And this is going to be the last appearance for a wrestling show at the Saddle Dome, which is about to be torn down. And so this was a big market and a big location for pro wrestling. So it only makes sense that Calgary's favorite son, Bret Hart, is there. Now, what he will be doing tonight is the real question. There's all sorts of speculation, but there's no way you're going to have Bret Hart there tonight and not have something of significance go down. So this should be pretty interesting how this happens tonight. But yeah, it's pretty cool that WWE gets to be kind of one of the last wrestling shows and last shows, period, in a venue as historic as the Calgary Saddle Dome.
He should have his last match there with Goldberg tonight.
Wow.
That'll really sit.
You want to poke two bears today?
You wouldn't want to see that?
You want to poke two bears? Listen, you know what? In order to do this right, I'm gonna have to inform our parents here the proper started. There was some Bret Hart slander that I had to deal with last week, and I just absolutely was beside myself. I was so beside myself, I didn't even feel the need to comment. I said, we'll address this. And once I found out the Hitman was going to be appearing today, oh, you best believe I broke out the whole drip. I broke out the glasses and the shades because I had to, as much as I know that my other half, my tag team partner, and I have gotten along, this is one thing I will not do with my tag team partner, because today you are not my tag team partner. Today you are Will Goldberg. Okay, Will Goldberg.
Wow.
Will Goldberg, you will not disrespect a man who has had the championship. You want to call his career mid, his title reigns mid. The word mid was used with Bret Hart in the same sentence.
Yes.
I will not go down like that, like it never happened. I will remind you, sir. This man was the second Triple Crown champion in history ever. The second man to do it. He He had 3 matches in one night to become King of the Ring. And he did King of the Ring twice. Okay. And he was Triple Crown champion twice. Okay. Just saying. We're not going to say the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, the John Cena level type stuff, just without the length in the reigns. That I understand. But the overall picture of Bret Hart, well, Bret Hart, you wouldn't have got moments like the match with Stone Cold. You wouldn't have gotten Shawn Michaels. Hell, you wouldn't have even gotten D-Generation X, because who was the one that started calling them degenerates and they took it and ran with it? Okay. Without Bret Hart, a lot of things would not probably have transpired. And it is crazy. And I know I talk a lot of love for Shawn Michaels as well. But before Shawn Michaels, for me personally, Bret the Hitman Hart was the first. Man, pulling out the drip with the leather jacket. He was on the commercials. He was on The Simpsons, like cultural icon crossovers with wrestling and such. Come on. I just wanted to remind you, Will Goldberg, that no Bret Hart slander will be taken anymore. Sincerely, your tag team partner.
Canada desperately needs a win lately too. Sorry, TK. Desperately.
I feel you though. It's amazing that he did all of that, and it's still the executioner of midness. It's just amazing that all of that, and he still just makes me want to go to sleep. That's wild.
That's talking about Councilman. Listen to this. I want you to listen to this sentence, okay? Listen to this sentence right here. Where is it? I had it. There he is. Okay. So, held championship titles in 5 decades. 5 decades. 32 titles to be exact throughout his career, and 17 between WWF at the time and WWE, as well as WCW. Okay. Then you have also, let's see, where is that? Credited with changing the perception of mainstream North American professional wrestling in the early 90s by bringing technical wrestling to the fore. Okay. Widely regarded as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. One of, if not the greatest, to have ever graced a squared circle. Okay. If you want to call his reigns mid, quote unquote, do that. But we're not going to call Bret Hart overall mid. No.
Listen,
Never.
I'm just saying, you could have a fantastic side of mashed potatoes, but if your steak and green beans are just not hitting like that, it's a mid point, ain't it? Just saying. Never knocked his wrestling capabilities. He is a fantastic storyteller in the ring. When he was on that mic, sleep.
You called him mid. You called his whole career mid.
Listen, the man
is just a part of it.
The man is mid. I know it hurts.
Somebody help me out here. Is there any sense that we could go with this man?
Before we help you out, Seti said he has to go and pound the streets. So please let us know where everybody can find you, Said.
Again, I don't need to be found. You found me enough. Do what you do. Support my colleagues here at WWT. I just want to point out, we got to go back to that Kiana James story real quick. Just want to point out that she's taking the Tiffany Stratton route with getting far ahead. And Mr. Farrell knows what I'm talking about. The clients over here represented by your mayor of Vice City, your Duke of Parkerville, are all natural. Do with that information what you want. You can make sure you follow
body shaming on WWT. Wow.
Do with that information what you will. Do with that information what you will.
Wow.
Do with that information what you will.
Allegedly.
Anywho,
that's some
I
choice
will bid you guys adieu, and I will see you guys Wednesday. Maybe.
Peace out.
Oh, good Lord.
Shout out, JD. Thank you. And yes, that too. Come on now, spitting on Vince McMahon.
Did Professor Run? I was like, did he leave and run?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare anybody away.
No, you
Nope.
didn't scare me away. I'd take care of something. But I will say to your point, honey, that first of all, I love this. I love this side of you. This is great. This
Yay!
is wonderful. This is wonderful to see. With that, I think we also here's another reason why we can't call Bret Hart mid. He had a very difficult job. He transitioned the WWE from Hulkamania. Not just from Hulkamania, but from the presentation of the mesomorph, the larger than life 6'8", 300-pound kind of figure, to create a space so that, quite frankly, an AEW can exist, to create a space so that we can have a Seth Rollins as a world champion, a Bryan Danielson as a world champion, somebody who is not, a Batista, for instance, to be a world champion. And so it was a major shift, a major paradigm shift. And for Bret Hart to be trusted with that was a difficult task. But he did that. And to transition the WWE out of that era into the Attitude Era, he was pivotal for that. Two of the greatest, actually, three of the pillars of the Attitude Era don't happen without crossing Bret Hart. And that is all things Shawn Michaels, all things Stone Cold. You can argue even the Undertaker and that situation that happened at SummerSlam that they redid just this year. Bret Hart was very, very significant, and the whole screw job was
spitting at Vince McMahon in the face, like
it was the turning point for pro wrestling. I mean, you have the NWO happening, and that's cool, but when Bret Hart gets screwed by Vince McMahon, it's a moment that lasts to this day. Still one of the most controversial moments. So it's a very, very big deal.
Not to mention wrestling in WrestleMania twice in one night, making rooms for guys like Seth to do the same. You know what I mean? And Cody to do the same, because he wrestled his brother and he wrestled Yokozuna in one night and won the title.
He did.
WrestleMania 10. That's my favorite WrestleMania. I know that WrestleMania like the back of my hand.
And Jeffrey, he did introduce the ladder match before Shawn and Scott. It was actually Bret versus Shawn.
Stop.
Before now we get out of here, we have a little bit more time, but I wanted to talk about the possibility of AEW going to Fox. Do you guys think there's anything in those rumors or the possibility of that happening?
Say again, what going to Fox?
AEW.
Oh, I did see something about that.
Wait, let me just, I'll say this one other thing relative to Bret Hart. I think we've got to be able to parse between his accomplishments and, because what you guys are saying in terms of mid, you're just saying that in terms of charisma and personality. And he never claimed to be the greatest interview in the world. And that's okay. I think we got to be able to mark the difference between, hey, he may not have entertained me because he wasn't charismatic and didn't give me the greatest promos in the world. But to say he was mid, I could rattle off 5 incredible matches that Bret Hart had that would stand the test of time, that I'll go so far as to say The Rock can't do. So I just think we've just got to be able to differentiate. He might not be the most entertaining, and maybe that part is what you're referencing, but you can't accurately call his career mid. Now, in terms of AEW on Fox,
right,
I'm not sure that Fox is going to get back into pro wrestling anytime soon. I'm not sure that they were fully vested from the beginning in having WWE then. Back in 2019, I mean, think about this. Who remembers when WWE and SmackDown premiered on Fox and how difficult it was for the NFL on Fox to promote that? It was like pulling teeth to get them to do that. Fox wasn't committed. I mean, they saw the money, and I don't know how this impacted. I'm sure it did. But, shortly after they signed that deal, nobody thought that the pandemic would happen. It changed pro wrestling forever. And that was a good year and a half of their programming, was the pandemic era, the Thunderdome, those kinds of things. And I'm not sure that it jumped back to whatever they thought it would be. So yeah, I think it was a money grab for both WWE and Fox. They wanted to see what it did. I applaud Fox for holding on for 5 years for that. WWE had nothing but glowing things to say. And we got that great WWE on Fox handle on the socials, which gave us some pretty memorable content. I don't think that Fox will be interested in pro wrestling anytime soon.
What do you guys think? I have like some shaking of heads. Courtney saying no.
No, I mean, I really can't, because at this point it's just speculation. I really can't with Fox. Not to mention they're already in conversation with a deal with Warner Brothers, because I think that's supposed to be finalized soon. So I don't see it being on Fox no time soon.
Especially it's a different, even though it's wrestling, AEW and WWE is very much a different product. Like you can even look at that. I was like looking at the graphics today, and you can kind of see, just even within the graphics, it's not, we can just insert said wrestling show with another wrestling show. It's just a different product. And I don't think I think AEW is a lot more, I don't know if the right words, it's not polished. It's just AEW is a lot more grittier. And I don't know if that's the audience that Fox is going for.
Agreed. And I'm definitely sure they're not going for the needles and the chair shots and the plastic bags that we saw over the weekend. If they were not endearing themselves to broadcast television.
There it is. Do we have anything else? What else do we want to talk about?
Let's talk about Julia.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
And them talking about that they are supposedly going to be making her the face of the women's division when they go to CW. Thoughts on that?
I mean, I find that interesting that you say this, Councilman, because we have a lot of. It depends on the CW that we're gonna get, and I think for me, because I don't necessarily watch network talk television like that, like I don't know what else is on the CW. Like I remember CW back in the day, and if we're going by CW back in the day, then we're looking at more of Lash Legend. We're looking at more people kind of on that type of face of it. So I don't know. I don't know if that's. Is there a need for one face for NXT for the CW? Because I thought Trick was going to be that too.
Yeah. I still would have thought Trick would probably be one of the faces for CW as well, but they kind of strayed away from kind of like a little bit, not too far, but they did stray away from like what they were putting out before with the whole interaction with Trick and Lash Legend, and making it a little bit like more lighthearted, and but I think with Julia being, can she be the face of the CW for NXT? Possibly, but honestly, I personally, and I love her debut, and I can't wait to see her in action, like finally in NXT, like now that she showed up. But I honestly think that Roxanne is a great face for CW, and she's she's still alive and kicking. The Pereziacs are alive and kicking. Pop Rock City is doing very well. Apparently,
we are thriving right now. It's flowing right now,
and that's not to say that she can't be. I just feel like, and maybe Courtney, you could speak to this as the PR expert. This deal with CW is a big thing. So choosing the right people according to who your audience is, right? It's kind of like if I were to make somebody, a wrestler, the face of my brand or my company, it's going to be something that's kind of catered to me and my brand, which is if you watch my Instagram, it's usually talking about some Leo stuff and Caribbean culture. So if you fit in that, then that's where we are. So it really just depends on the brand and the amount and the analytics of the people who watch CW, and then putting that person to that. Because if you put somebody counter to that, then it's turning away, right? So I don't know. What do you think, Courtney?
I think it's going to be very interesting, and also considering Julia came in, because I know a lot of us know who she is, but a lot of people who may not watch NXT may not know who she is. And also, this is going to be really interesting to see, because of course, like, do I see her as being one of the top female wrestlers of NXT? Yes, but I think it's just going to be time. For right now, Roxy, she's a champ. I mean, a lot of people know who she is. With her being the champ, of course, you have Ethan Page. He's the NXT champ. I'm really shocked that they didn't have Trick, because I will say I watched NXT No Mercy, and that Aurora, when Trick came out, that was just insane. It really was insane. So I'm just shocked that they didn't put him as a face. But I'm very intrigued on her match tomorrow, because I think somebody in the comments said she's faced off against Chelsea Green. So I'm excited to see what her first official match is going to be on NXT.
I'll say a couple of things. One, I think I told you guys, and it's gonna happen tomorrow night is where it'll kind of really manifest itself. But they're going to have moments happening on those first 2 weeks on the CW, because they want to keep people obviously coming back. And so I remember we were having the discussion when Trick lost the championship, and people were going, well, what's going on? And I'm like, guys, remember, the chase is often better than the defense. And so we've literally been watching now for 3 months, Trick chasing the championship. And if you'll notice, tomorrow night, the match that's going to happen, the winner of that match between Trick and I don't want to call him. Yeah, I almost called him Butch.
Don't do that.
But don't do that. I'll get in trouble. But the match between those two, the winner will be the number one contender to face Ethan Page for the championship when they debut on the CW. And so you have the potential of 2 title matches, 2 potential title changes on that first night in the Allstate Arena, which is going to be a much bigger moment than if Trick walks in as the champion. So I would not say that Trick as the face of NXT is over. That's not a done deal. Like, it's, they're still doing that, I think. And I would also say this, in terms of, do you change your product to match the network? The one thing that WWE has always done is wherever they show, their fans show up. Wherever. And so when you think back to the varying networks that the WWE's been on, they did not change the face of their company to match Fox. They did not change the face of their company when they went to Sci-Fi. They brought their product. And if anything, you're introducing the product to an audience who may not have seen them before, but you're also bringing your fans as well. So I don't think they're going to alter the product because it's going to be on the CW. I mean, the product has been what it's been for NXT. It just happens that there's a lot of great athletes, who are on there. Many of them are Black, and they've got the goods, and they are shining, but they're going to put the best athletes on there. And because think about it, NXT will be the only representation of WWE on broadcast television. That's a major statement. So understanding that you're going to have more fans that can check out broadcast television, they're going to want to present a compelling product.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, the only thing they change maybe is going to be the stage. That's be
Yeah.
Well, the question too, I don't know if you guys have the answer to that. Will it be every week they're changing different cities, or will it be more in Florida and then once in a while different cities?
I do wonder that. I know the first 2 cities are, abroad, Chicago and St. Louis. I have not heard what's going to happen for the 15th and the following cities. Of course, they've got their PLE at the end of the month, end of October, that is, for Halloween Havoc. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that goes. I'm sure they will let us know in time.
Anything else we want to talk about?
I think we covered Raw already, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Oh, well, I don't think so. Missed you guys. I missed everybody.
I missed you guys too. It's good to be back.
Oh, yeah. Did you? Well, have you talked about Jamaica? Do you want to give the ACW?
Oh yeah, how was it?
Yeah, how was it?
Endeavors.
In the beginning of nothing.
So Jamaica.
Before we do that, let's shout out ACW.
This episode of Women's Wrestling Talk has been brought to you by All Caribbean Wrestling. Catch the wave. Go to allcaribbeanwrestling.com to check out all the latest pay-per-views or go on the YouTube page at All Caribbean Wrestling. Also, go and check out their socials on Instagram at All Caribbean Wrestling and on X at All Caribbean WR1.
All right. Yeah. How was Jamaica, Professor?
I was going to ask you to start. But I could, or maybe I should start. Should I start?
You should start.
I should start. All right. So we were in the capital of Jamaica. Capital city is Kingston. And so there are different vibes. You know, Jamaica has a bunch of different cities. And one of them, of course, is Montego Bay. That's a popular one. The Girl's a very popular one. Kingston, of course, is the capital city of Jamaica. So it was really a great opportunity to see a different vibe of Jamaica, kind of where the business takes place in Jamaica. So we got to see that. We were at the University of Technology. One of the really cool things is that All Caribbean had the opportunity to do a lot of great press. So we had several of our wrestlers who went to do radio there, which is cool. The biggest network in Jamaica, called TVJ, they did a press conference. And so that was widely and very well received. It was wild.
Fight ensued.
Fight broke out. Like it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And so I feel, yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. I feel like we were definitely well received. And one of the things that I'm learning is, you know, we're really starting to get the vibe for the varying places that we go. And so Jamaica was a cool place. It was interesting because we had several of the college students who were excited to see that we were on their campus. And so they came through, which was really, really cool. And of course, I'm starting to see how these shows are not just one-offs. They are like every other wrestling show, setting up for something next. And so we're moving from that, which was a fantastic card and some great matches. We had 5 women's matches on that
Love
show.
That.
5, and I mean bangers.
Yes.
Bangers. We had some folks who spent some time in NXT on the show. We've had just some amazing names. Jada Stone and Kalia Capri was crazy. You know, a lot of great matches from start to finish on the show. So it was great. And that is now getting us ready for our next show, which will be next month. It's the Fight for Paradise in Nassau, Bahamas. We're heading back there. It should be fantastic.
Yeah, it was good. So Professor gave the wrestling version. We did partake the Bob Marley Museum, so that was really good. A lot of information there. One of our tour guide was actually one of the guys in the movie, so that was surreal.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so it was really good. We got to partake in KFC. And for you guys who know,
but before I mention partake, let's just say there's a great debate in Jamaica about KFC, and
great debate in every Caribbean island.
Oh, okay. Well, they say that Jamaica has the greatest KFC in the world.
Don't let Japan hear that.
Well, that was great. I've got to hop off. I have a meeting I have to hop onto. But I love you guys dearly. Check me out at Bonnerfied. And I think I'll be back on Friday. I think I'll be back on Friday. I think I'll be back on Friday.
I thought it was next Monday.
It may be next Monday. I'll have to double check.
I think it's next Monday.
It's likely next Monday. So we'll see. But anyway, when I'm back, y'all know the deal. I love you guys.
Yes, the professor won't be pounding the street. He'll be pounding the phone.
Oh my Lord, have mercy. We left him. He's leaving
Just pull out this conversation, Professor.
Yeah. I'm gone. Bye.
He's leaving the same
Bye.
way he came in. He's leaving the same way he came in. Same face. The
same face. Same exact face. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, it was really great. We got to partake in some KFC. The food was great. The hospitality was great. The hotel was great. Like I said, the matches, ACW is doing, and yes, they are a sponsor, but they're not paying me to say this part. ACW is doing some amazing things that I can't wait for folks to see as far as the matches and just a different concept on indie wrestling. It's not your typical indie wrestling promotion, meaning that you're going to get some storylines, and then on top of the backdrop of the Caribbean. So they're doing some really great things that, you know, once some plans come into place, people are definitely going to appreciate it. So yeah, definitely looking back to going to the Bahamas. October 19th is that date. If you can find your way to the Bahamas, you know, you might think it's far, but it's not far at all. If you can find your way to Miami, it's like 45 minutes away from Miami, and the flights are actually not that bad at all. So you can definitely check that out. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can hit me up and I can send you all those details. But yeah, it was a great experience. Florida, however, oh my God, the heat, different from LA heat, can't do it. So y'all keep that heat over there. That was
right.
I'm gonna have to test out LA heat for myself though, because I hear it is nice when it gets hot. It's not that as bad.
It's it's
on
actually
this side it
New
gets
York
humid and it's like at least they have open air in Florida, but up here on the East Coast, upstate, no.
Yeah, that concrete heat
no.
Yeah, that concrete heat in New York is different too. LA heat,
it's gross.
It's not like Florida. It felt like after you get out of the shower, you're gonna sweat as soon as you get out of the shower. It's like that muggy sweat. I hate to get into all the logistics, but that Florida heat, I literally just walked down to the CVS and I was like, oh, this is a disrespectful heat. I don't want to do this anymore.
Two outfits. Two outfits.
That part. I'd like to know how say something when. What? Wait, I like to know.
I like how TK had to say something when someone was about to leave. He was talking in reference to Professor.
Oh, I mean, to go. What do you want from me? But yeah, like I said, for you guys who, I mean, I try to, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it works. Does it? Like I said, you guys definitely want to check out. We have a couple of watch-alongs coming out. So Courtney's going to be doing AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. Honey's going to be doing SmackDown on Friday, and we will
special 3-hour episode this Friday.
3-hour episode. We also are going to be having a WoW watch-along as well for their season 3, and possibly tomorrow we're going to have an NXT watch-along. So we're going to see how that all goes. But any final things? Anything you guys are looking forward to in this wrestling week? Because we're in the home stretch. I don't know about y'all. For me in Toronto, once Caravana happens, then there's Labor Day, and we're just now on Christmas. So we are in the home stretch of the end of 2024. I don't really like wrapping up years like that, but this is where we are. So in the home stretch of wrestling, as far as our final question, any things you guys are looking forward to as far as wrestling?
I'm definitely looking forward to this 8-man, 1-hour commercial-free street fight that's going to go down with Wyatt 6. I'm really looking forward to SmackDown being 3 hours, and I can't help, and I'm going to say this now, but I can't help but smell something, and it smells like final boss energy for some reason. I don't know. A 3-hour Fox USA or USA special with WWE SmackDown. I smell final boss vibes, and I'm just really excited for the rest of the year because I know War Games is coming, and before that we got a couple of PLEs, but just knowing the excitement we got from last November, this year's, I don't know what to expect, but it's gonna pretty much make us lose our minds, and I can't wait.
Is the title on the line this Friday with Cody, right?
Yes, steel cage match with Solo Sikoa.
Yep, steel cage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Yep.
That's gonna be something.
Yep.
Courtney or Will,
I'm
anything
feeling-
you guys are looking forward to before we get out of here?
Oh, Courtney, you can go.
The Road to Black Blood. It starts tonight. I'm actually really excited to see how it's gonna fall out because, of course, we got Bad Blood, we got Survivor Series, which I'm really excited for in Canada. So it's gonna be very interesting how everything's gonna wrap up for the end of the year. And then, of course, we have the Royal Rumble in 2025. So there's a lot to happen. 3 hour SmackDown. Never in a million years I would see SmackDown for 3 hours, but I'm really excited for the season premiere. I'm excited on what is going to expected. So this is really going to be fun. On the AEW side, they're getting ready for Wrestle Dream, which is in whose house? Swerve's
house.
his hometown. It'll be in his hometown, Tacoma, Washington. So the road to Wrestle Dream is going to be fun. And also they have Full Gear, which is in my home state of New Jersey, which I'm very, very excited. So a lot's going to happen on the AEW side. And also, it's going to be really fun just seeing everything wrap up for the end of the year. And it's going to be a fun time. It really is.
Councilman?
Dylan, you wrong.
I'm telling you.
Dylan comment just threw.
Hilarious.
Oh my god. I'm looking forward to this TED talk I'm gonna have and finally let people know why Bret Hart just ain't it. Y'all have stricken the chord now. So now I see why CM Punk does what he does to Drew McIntyre. I'm keeping that same energy with this guy. Same energy is gonna be coming your way. Yeah. No. But in all seriousness, I'm just ready for one thing and one thing only. My tribal chief. I don't care about nothing else.
I thought you were gonna say something totally different, but okay.
What'd you think? What'd you think?
I don't know.
No, you knew.
I can't wait to hear this. I gotta hear this.
I haven't been around in a couple weeks. I didn't know if there was, there was a clip floating around or something, but okay.
Oh yeah, no. And I was looking forward to this debate, but it's not gonna happen. Cedric is not.
I was starting to think the same thing.
Yeah, the fact that he wrote in here debate topics, like there is the debate is us and our clients. Don't do that to yourself.
The debate is Parkerville, Vice City versus Strattonville and Pop Rock City.
listen. I was told that I had to be cautious with these. Don't think I wouldn't bring this back though. Don't think I will not bring back. I have been defending my Big Back Championship a couple of times now.
Okay then.
Why are you running?
With that being said, let's get out of here.
Looking forward to?
Gosh. I wouldn't say the tribal chief. Y'all know, for those who've been following me for a long time, I'm all things Bloodline before Bloodline even existed. Don't let me pull out that. Maybe I should find a picture for y'all for you guys who are new to the TK the TK. Like I've been talking about this for a very long time.
Look at TK in there too.
Yeah, like the better part of 7 years. So I'm looking forward to all things bloodline related. Especially there are some folks, there are 3 bloodline related folks, not related, but that have been talking that are not part of the WWE that I feel like would be a great addition to. 2 of them are women. So
I think I know who you're going to say.
So they've been dropping hints. I don't know if they're dropping hopeful hints or factual hints, but that would be great to see. So yeah, I'm just the lead up to what that's going to look like. And I feel like, you have after WrestleMania, it's like the reset for everything going into SummerSlam. But I feel like now it's kind of like they're kind of tying up some stories, starting some new stories with that kind of rounding into the new year. So we'll see.
Jeffrey Savage.
Wow, Jeffrey. I can't. I can't. With that being said,
That man was very upset at us because he got called out and didn't like it. Because Honey knows that man didn't mention Sea of Blue till we started talking crap about it. And then the next episode, he's like, "Go buy your Seas of Blues." Don't start talking about it now.
He's denying that he ever even gave up the aqua blue T-shirt and his mayor status in the first place when you were a first-hand witness with us to this moment.
I mean, I think we even have a clip. So Dylan,
we do
that.
We do.
With that being said, where can everybody find you? We'll start with Courtney. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram on @CourtneyNJ11. You can also see me here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And as TK mentioned earlier, I will be doing a watch along for AEW Dynamite starting this Wednesday. And talking about the All Out from All Out, and it's going to be an exciting show. I'm very excited for this, and feel free to check it out.
Yes,
that is a good question, Sunil. I actually been wondering that too. But I think he's injured, right? I think he's injured. But
he wrestled Monday, right?
Jimmy Uso has not wrestled.
No, he's been out for a minute.
I'm thinking
Jay. Out.
Yeah, Jay.
Yep, Jay.
Honey, where can everybody find you?
Y'all can find me here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays with the WWT Live crew. Don't forget, this Friday after WWT Live, we have the Honey SmackDown Watch Along. This time it's going to be a long, extended 3-hour special for WWE and SmackDown on USA. So feel free to join me for 3 hours and we talk all that cool wrestling-ish. Other than that, you can also find me on my socials, Wrestling with Honey TikTok, Instagram, Wrestling with Honey Facebook, Wrestling W Honey, and that YouTube. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, let them know that the Wrestling with Honey podcast is coming real soon.
And Mr. Councilman,
you can find me at Why Sami Zayn Relevant on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, man.
We're rising in followers right now, so you want to come join the conversations, and then look out for my new podcast, Hand Me Down Shenanigans with Honey, and we're just gonna be talking about a whole bunch of people of why are they on TV? Why are they on TV, and why are they getting the things that they are getting? We are going to try to dive deep and figure it out. But you can also always check me out here on WWT Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Hopefully on Tuesdays, along with the Real TK for this NXT watch along.
Oh, let's do it. We on the same coast.
Exactly.
Lord knows,
Lord knows
I've been
it down as long as I could.
Yes.
Oh no, but we're doing a watch along. Yeah, I'll tell you off.
Oh, so watch along. Oh, okay.
Yeah, watching it.
Watch along.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Yes, Lord knows I've been trying. So hopefully we'll be in it to win it. Anything else? And because I know you're doing a lot.
Oh yeah, straight out of a comic book. I have content coming out every day now. So Monday through Friday, and then the full new episodes on Friday, and then Wednesdays is TCW. That's Trill Championship
Wrestling. Let's go.
I gotta get y'all on there as commentary. We definitely gotta have
fun. It's fun watching it. It's fun.
Yeah. We might, matter of fact, we'll see about y'all do that next week. Yeah.
You should.
I might save y'all for the pay-per-view. That's why I might save y'all.
You should have said on for that too.
Well, we want to, but his hand-me-down.
He got that Vice City Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it don't be working, so we're gonna see if we can get him on there.
I did miss the WWT parentals though. It was so great to see y'all faces.
Yes, it was. Glad to have you back. Yes,
Well,
and shout out to Courtney for holding it down with the AEW. Glad to see, as much as we be talking about AEW and be making fun of it, though, it's glad to see that it's good representation here on WWT. We held it down for All Out.
Yeah, it was a shocking All Out. I'm very excited for Wednesday on the Fallout, and you'll be hearing a lot of bold predictions that I have between now up until Wrestle Dream and Full Gear, because I got some bold predictions. Because one of the bold predictions I said during the live-in, I said the Young Bucks are going to drop the tag team titles at Full Gear, and I meant it. That's a bold prediction. I have a feeling they're going to drop it at Full Gear.
Well, there it is. Shout out to everybody in our chat. Jeffrey, our unofficial official producer, Dylan, cousin Ron, Bosa. I think we had Daniel Garcia in there, Sindel. Who else is there? Tamar Scott. So everybody in our chat for joining us, special little nobodies for joining us, really appreciate it. You can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. Make sure you follow Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms at www talkpod.com. With that being said, make sure you go and check out that Raw because that's what we talk about. So support the products, support the live shows, all the things. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet.
You spelled it wrong. You're supposed to spell that not out. You're supposed to spell that not out.
Ciao, y'all.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen not knowing what you want to do like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to www talkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit. Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WWTalkPod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms. Like yesterday, my G. And